let's explore the art of smoking.
Oh, she's smoking.
Hi, how's it all going? Will here from the Beardy Explorer channel again, and this week I'm going to be exploring smoking in my homemade smoker. This is an item I rescued from a skip and I've turned it into a smoker, so let's explore the art of smoking. My smoker, and this is what we're going to attempt to use to smoke some meat today. I've got some pork belly that I want to try, and this is what I'm going to use. This is a old-fashioned bread bin that I rescued from a skip several years ago, and I actually turned it into a smoker quite a few years ago now, but I totally forgot I had it and I never used it, and I thought now is the opportunity to give it a whirl, because I found it whilst having a bit clear out and I thought that is perfect. So yeah, I'm going to have a go with that. So I'll run you through how I made it. It's very simple. Don't know whether it's going to work or not. I'm not really entirely sure whether it's going to be a cold smoker or a hot smoker, so I do actually have a little thermometer which I'm just going to drill and screw into the side so I can keep an idea of the temperatures that it's creating. I think it's possibly going to be a hot smoker, but who knows? It's homemade, anything could happen. So that's what we're going to deal with today. So as you can see, I've just got 4 rails that I've put in. I drilled some holes to put them in, and these are just rails that I found knocking about. They were nothing in particular. I think actually they were from a wine rack, but they were just surplus to requirements, so I just used them. And I've got some wire racking. I've got 2 shelves in there to hold whatever I want to put in there. And yeah, pretty straightforward. And at the bottom here, I managed to get hold of just a bit of aluminium, and I managed to bend it in the same shape following the bottom here as a bit of a wind stop for the flame bits I'm going to put in the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to put in the bottom as yet, as regarding how I'm going to heat it up. I think I possibly will use methylated spirits and a wick in like a little tin pot or something to heat it up. But yeah, that's how it's panning out at the minute, and that's how it looks. Very simple, very easy, not a hard thing to do. Whether it works or not is still need to try it, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is it. That is the design. Really simple, but yeah, I'm going to get some meat prepared now. I've got to do a bit of dry brining on the pork belly that I want to use. I read a little recipe online to do a bit of dry brining. It's going to be a couple hours, so I'll get that started now, and then we'll attempt to get it smoking a bit later on. So let's get that started. Right, so that is the dry brining done. Fairly simple. It's just adding, I've done salt flakes on the pork belly. It's to pull the moisture out, because I suppose you don't really want super soggy wet meat in your smoker, so it's going to pull the moisture out. It's going to be going in the fridge, hour on one side, then I'm going to turn it over for another hour, just put a bit more salt on the other side. You want to be roughly, I think it's about a 10% coverage on the meat, so that's what I've done. And yeah, just going to leave it in the fridge now for an hour, then turn it, and hopefully be ready to go with it. That's dry brined the pork belly now, so that's all done, dusted. For about 2.5 hours I've been doing that. You can see how it's pulled some of the moisture out as well, so that's done what I wanted to do. And next I've just whipped up a little bit of a glaze. I've just made it like a honey and mustard glaze. I'm just going to pop that on the actual pork belly before I get it in the smoker, just for a bit of added flavour, a bit of extra something nice. But I didn't want to go too much on it because obviously I'm wanting to know how the smoker is going to work, and I want to see whether you get a true nice smoky flavour. So just a light honey and mustard glaze. Not going to completely lather them in it, but just going to get it on there just to jazz it up. So when I get that done, then I will probably pop my thermometer into the smoker just so I can sort of keep an eye on what's going on temperature wise. I picked this up from Amazon. It was like £3 or £4, so that's not expensive. Just going to drill a hole, stick it in. It's got a little screw just to hold it on, so that should be quite a quick and easy job. But I'm ready to assemble now. Got all that together. Turns out the enamelled metal is pretty hard to drill, but anyhow, got that ready. I'm just going to assemble that together. I'm going to use for my wood in there today is I think this is oak. This is chipped up oak. I think sort of fairly finely ground down. Did get this from my dad, and he used to do a bit of smoking in a few years ago. And so I've got a bit of knowledge of what's going on to a point. But he had a proper smoker. He used to do smoked trout in his, and that was a hot smoker, but it was slightly, obviously different looking to this. It was a lot lower, and he used to always get along well with this, so he recommended that. So thanks, Dad, recommending that. So we're going to use that anyway. And for me burners, I've got a couple of little tins. I've got some of the sort of fire cord that you use for like log burners, just a couple of little knots those to use as a wick, and then I'll be putting in some methylated spirits. That's all I've got, so I hope that's enough. Could be. My dad seems to think that might be enough, so let's hope. Should get maybe an hour or so's worth of time out of that with the two of them. So yeah, I've got 2 of those tins to put either side on there. So let's get it assembled. Let's get it outside. It goes without saying, obviously, if you're going to do some smoking, do it outside, because if it works well, it's going to smoke quite a lot, and you don't want that anyhow. So I'm going to pop it outside, just on a little table out here, and monitor it and see what happens. So let's get it assembled and let's get going. I'm not entirely sure how much of the sawdust shavings you want to be putting in. I've just put in sort of a nice sort of layer across the whole bottom, hoping it's enough. Again, I think we'll find out whether it is or it isn't, because I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll find out. But it's fine. And then I'm going to pop obviously the pork belly in a sec. I've got 2 shelves, so I'm going to put some on the top shelf and some on the bottom shelf, just in case there's a better area for better smoke, and keep a note of where each one goes. Because it might be better a bit lower down, it might be better a bit higher up, who knows, we'll find out as well. So that's why I'm going to put both shelves in. Right, she's off. She's cooking out there now. Just down there. Yeah, out there. See what happens. Hopefully we get some sort of result, but yeah, it's all a bit of an experiment, so looking forward to that. Hopefully give it a couple of hours. If it starts smoking and doing things, I'll let you see. So yeah, fingers crossed. Oh, she's smoking. She's working like a dream. Very happy with that so far. I think you could definitely call that hot smoking because we're up to about 100 degrees C, which is about, what's that, about 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think we're definitely hot smoking, no question about that. But it's working perfectly. It smells great. That oak's got a nice distinctive smell. That's something I want to obviously try as this actually works. Some various different woods, maybe some cherry or some apple wood or something like that. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. But so far so good. Right, well there's your first failure. Methylated spirits and rope stuff, I've burnt out pretty quick. I think I got about half an hour out of them, which was doing really well. I was really impressed with them, but yeah, that ate up the methylated spirits pretty quick. So I haven't got any of them left, so I'm gonna have to improvise. I did just grab a couple of candles, but they weren't really big enough, so I've got some firelighters in there to see how long they last. Because yeah, that's the best I can do at the minute. So yeah, note to self, need to get more meths. So anyway, let's crack on and see if this works. They kick out a lot of carbon, so that's why I use methylated spirits. But anyhow, we'll see how it goes. That's already making a mess of that. Oh dear. Right, well that is, I think, smoking finished. Look at the amount of carbon that the firelighters have kicked out. I can't actually see the thermometer anymore, but luckily it's enamelled so I can wipe that clean. But not the best results there. But on the other hand, the meat's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see in there. So they've all got a bit of a sort of a smoky looking glaze to them. It smells great. So what I think I'll do with these now, we've had about just over an hour's worth of smoking. So I think what I'll do now is I'll take the meat out and wrap it in some cling film, pop it in the fridge and let those sort of smoky flavours develop a little bit. And then I think the final part of this, I'll just sear them in the pan and hopefully try them later. Eva's come for a taste test as well. Do you want to taste a little bit?
Only like a little slice.
Yeah, I'll give you a tiny little bit.
Yeah, like only like a crumb.
There you go, you try that, see what you think. We're going for smoky flavours, see if you can taste the smoky flavours in it. What do you think? She's not a big fan of pork belly at the best of times, so...
I'm just have a cushion.
Not so keen. Well, I could say that is actually pretty damn good. I'm going to put that down as a bit of a win. You can definitely taste all the smoky sort of flavours of the oak and sort of distinguish the oak flavours and smokiness in there. So yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed considering I was only in for about an hour smoking and sat in a fridge for about 3 or 4 hours and then I pan fried them. But yeah, I think they've come out really well. Very surprised how smoky and tasty they really are. So yeah, put that down as a win. I'm going to have another little slice now. It's very tasty.
Yeah.
Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this content. I've had a lot of fun with that smoker and really enjoyed messing about with that today. So if you've enjoyed this content, by all means, drop us a like, hit the subscribe button, smack that bell, that'd be awesome if you could, and we'll see you again soon. Take care now, bye.